His army buddies knew the 19-year-old sergeant as Billy Wayne. Fromage Gen. Robert Dyess, in town to help celebrate Fort Eustis' 100th anniversary. He was just his older cousin Bill. But the people of the United States should know him as Sergeant William Wayne Seay, winner of the Congressional Medal of Honor for gallantry at the cost of his own life 50 years ago, during a bitterly fought, 9-hour ambush on a Vietnamese road. Fort Eustis took time from its own celebration to think about a kid from Pensacola, Florida, who, not once, but twice, dashed out from cover when his convoy was under intensive fire to grab a live grenade and toss it back at the enemy. And who, though already gravely wounded, risked, and drew, a fatal sniper's bullet when he stood up, out of the safety of his cover, to shoot North Vietnamese soldiers as they were about to open fire on his comrades in arms. Rob Ostermeyer, Daily Press. Dyess knew the hero as a teenager who was patient enough to take a 6-year-old cousin on the big adventure of a fishing trip on Pensacola Bay. Friday was a moment of pride for Dyess to see the new, low stone wall around the towering flagstaff at Fort Eustis Plaza. It are emblazoned words that became Army doctrine many years after Say's sacrifice: loyalty, duty, respect, selfless service, honor, integrity and personal courage. Those were words that the young 19-year-old sergeant, cousin and soldier's buddy really lived, said Maj. General Malcolm B. Frost, commanding general of the U.S. Army Center for Initial Military Training at Fort Eustis, as he addressed the soldiers and civilians gathered to rededicate the plaza. Those words echo daily across the fort and across the entire Army, Frost said. They're big words, and soldiers live up to them every day, he added. He should know, since part of his job at Fort Eustis is thinking about how to instill them in new soldiers. But while Fort Eustis is home to the Army Training and Doctrine Command, which oversees 32 Army schools and is charged with thinking about how wars will be fought in the years to come, there's plenty of other activity at the century-old post, as the parade of commanders and senior non-commissioned officers lining up to fill a time capsule for the plaza made clear. A couple dozen items, including unit coins and insignia, were dropped by dress-uniformed soldiers into the capsule. The items came from units representing the Army's soldier sailors, the Joint Task Force charged with assisting civil authorities in case of a chemical, biological, radiological or nuclear incident, and specialized aviation units, Signal Corps and other teams based at Fort Eustis. Basie's Military Spouses Association gave a copy of its new cookbook, Home Fires Burning. The rededication of Seay Plaza is one of several events to mark Fort Eustis' century of service to the nation. Named for Brevet Brig. Gen. Abraham Eustis, a veteran of the War of 1812, Fort Eustis was set up to meet an urgent need to train artillerymen for World War I at a time when that war seemed at a stalemate that only big guns could solve. Some 20,000 soldiers trained there, some of them going up in balloons and airplanes to learn how to spot the fall of fire. It took on the same training role in World War II, and became home to the Transportation Corps for more than 6 decades after that war. Dave Ress can be reached by telephone at 757-247-4535 or by email at dress@dailypress.com.